Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to season 2.
Woo!
We're in a different studio.
But we can't tell you where it is because people will copy us.
People already have copied us. Those people are also under at the moment. Joe's got brickwork behind him.
Yeah, maybe can you see that on there?
Bit of exposure.
It's a little bit more bougie, this
that?
one. I do like it. I like the vibe in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Today we're talking about why you should all be doing V-bar rows.
Just before we start, I just wanted to say, may the 4th be with you.
Is that today?
It is.
I said that on my YouTube video this morning
Got
without
me.
realising.
How's everybody doing? Tom? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, good. Recovering. I went out Sunday. Went to
That was
Printwork Solomon
Solomon.
on fine form as per.
He was good.
Fell in love, didn't I?
Wow.
Planned a hot boy summer and fucked it. Fallen in love. Game over. But no, it was very good. Really, really good. Nice start to the season. Although he started at 7, we got there at 2 because they're the only tickets left, so it was a bit
Oh, so you were
It's early.
by that time you were.
thumb twiddling.
Was there no one else on? Anyone worth?
There were, yeah,
Obviously
but,
there was, but
no one was there. So we just kind of hung around a few beers. But, it was really good. It was really good. I'm away next week. So
where you going?
Mykonos.
Nice. How many days?
5. It's more for just like work so I can get creative with this potential course, like this videography course. So nice to get away and just get it down.
Bit of ideation. You can take your big iPad. You got a big one?
Yeah.
What a place to ideate though.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have you looked at accommodation?
I know I'm there.
Oh,
Aniro Suites.
lovely.
Nice.
You've been there before?
Google that quick on.
No, I just wanted to get... The thing with Mykonos, though, is if you... Anywhere is like minimum 30 quid cab. So I was like, I need to stay in the... there's no-
In the town.
yeah. So there's no point me staying anywhere else apart from the town. But yeah, nice just to get away. I feel like I haven't been away in ages, man.
Me either.
How's prep going? You both start at the same time, prep?
Similar.
Yeah, it wasn't far off, was it? Maybe I'll...
You've not said, have you?
No. It will be out by the time I've done this episode. But first, how are you? Return the question.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Life's good. Life's very busy. Things are taking off. I think more's happened in the last month that we've taken off from the podcast than any month we've been on it. So
Says a lot.
yeah.
Maybe we should end this here.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in for season 2, guys. See you in season 3.
We're actually going to pack it in here because we're way more productive about it. No, I disagree. It's only going to complement, I think, productivity now.
Agreed.
But yeah, what's new? Big investment into the
Big investment.
Josh Bridgman
Got myself
Limited.
a business mentor.
You found one.
Ah, have you?
I have.
Are you going to disclose the name or no? Don't have to.
I'll leave it for now. I'm gonna let my experience happen first.
Yeah.
Let me delve in. Let me go from it because it's very expensive, very time committed as well. Like it's gonna. Like I'm gonna be set work. I'm gonna be set things to do to try and improve aspects of my leadership, aspects of my systems and my business. And this is something that I've been looking for a while because I feel like I'm pretty business savvy and I can learn things pretty quick. But I've made a lot of mistakes in the last 2 years. Mistakes that have cost me thousands of pounds. Mistakes that have cost me months, maybe 6 months of the year. So I just know that if I can have someone with, this guy's got 30 year experience, he's in his 50s. He's built multiple seven-figure businesses. And I know that scaling a business and a lot of the attributes of building seven-figure businesses is going to be applicable to so many different avenues.
Yeah.
Of course.
And he would have made the mistakes. He would have learned from those mistakes. He's going to help me get through those mistakes, and ultimately, hopefully, give me a little bit of a key to the next level.
But those mistakes are important for you anyway as an individual.
For sure. Like
Hugely.
you learn much quick, especially when it's like your baby and your business. You learn very fucking quick
Of course.
because you don't want it to happen again.
No.
It's one of them ones, isn't it? Sometimes in life, a lot of things in life, actually, I think, loads of people can tell you the same thing, but you have to just go find it out for yourself, don't you? And then
100%.
that's when it's like telling people to like go and lose weight. They won't do it unless they actually want to, and unless they've maybe made that mistake or had a scare or whatever it is, and then you learn that lesson yourself. And you're like, oh shit, I better kick my ass into gear. But I think it's a really good thing of you, like a thing that you've done. I've always said, I think one of the challenges of like being a small business owner, especially for me, sort of coming from corporate and having a line manager, there's no one chasing me that the only thing chasing me down to do more, do better, hold myself accountable is like if I want to do better.
Yeah.
And in those times when maybe you're a bit lax, a bit slacking, relaxing a bit too much, you've now got someone who's going to be like, what have you done this week?
Yeah.
It's literally like having a weekly check-in. It's like coaching it. It's really, really good. So I think it's a good move, and like you said, it's not been a snap decision. You've been asking people for ages
for a very long time
who to go to.
We've done a podcast on why not to go with business mentors. You know, this is how long we've been thinking about, or how long I've been thinking about this. And it took me a very long time to find the right person. Hopefully, it's right. So we'll see.
It takes a lot. I'm very stubborn. It takes me ages to even reach out for basic things like, you know, rebranding logos.
It's the hardest thing. It's
Yeah,
like when you've created it, when the brand is you and you're associated to the brand, like to hand over those reins, it's a very hard thing to do. And this guy's going to come in and like look at my reins, shake the fucking reins, bring new ones in, and I'm like, all right, well, that's not how we used to do things. But it's like, well, this is going to get you a better result.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very difficult.
It's all about swallowing your pride, isn't it? Ego, just thinking, I don't know everything actually. I could do a bit of help here. Yeah, that's awesome. It's exciting.
How about yourself?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I think since the last season ended and this one started, there's been like just a big shift. I think in my headspace more than anything. I think the reason prep started so soon together was with us because my maintenance phase, if you want, was supposed to go on for much longer. But I'm really, really not good at that maintenance phase. I'm really. Find myself just getting itchy feet. I don't know if I'm here nor there. I feel like I always need to be moving towards something in this bodybuilding journey because otherwise I feel like, what am I doing? And obviously you'd started, I think it was a couple of weeks before, and we were training. We obviously sort of started training together as we're doing now every session, which has been amazing. And I was watching my little video, my little reels for the YouTube tonight, which will sort of announce that prep series tonight being last Wednesday, and. Yeah, I was just getting excited. Just looking at clips of me and you training just gets me like gassed up and just thinking this is going to be so sick. So yeah, I was sort of training with you and I was just thinking, let's just get started, man. Like what am I doing wasting time? Like that first bit of prep anyway, relatively smooth, your calories stay high. Like why don't we take off that initial layer of whatever it is that comes off in the initial few weeks from that calorie drop, get a bit more active and just have like the accountability back. You know, I'm very bad at checking in, but I'm not on prep, but I check in religiously, taking pictures again, just being more on it is the only way I can explain it. Be accurate with everything. I've got steps to hit, I've got food to hit, I'm tracking everything again. And I immediately felt better. Yeah. And after that, everything else seems to like fall in place as well. So yeah, it's been good. It's been really nice to see. So I'm good.
Good to hear, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that post you did was interesting, Josh, when you said about addressing the kind of why you dropping your calories so quick, and you made that point about, well, have you ever been like glutes peeled?
Yeah. Then
you have got no leg to stand on to say I should be holding my. And I think it's. Do you ever find that with your clients that you're not, that you maybe hold back being a bit too aggressive? I've noticed.
I know what you mean. You know.
I've noticed that this time round, and it's been noticeable because they've actually said, Tom, I can go harder than this. I'm like, all right, well, fucking, let's go then. Do you know what I mean? I've always been a little bit hesitant to go straight in the deep end with a client.
Yeah.
I learnt that lesson quite early on. It was with my client Isaac, who actually was one of the ones that sort of was a big level up for my business in terms of gaining interest, because he came in with shredded glutes in the end. But I remember thinking, he started prep with loads of time, but loads of body fat. And I remember getting to, I think we were probably, honestly, like somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks out. And I was like, fuck. Because you know what the natty scene's like it's condition. It has to be condition. And I was like, oh God, like, we're going to have to push this now. So that taught me quite a big lesson. And I've taken that into this year with a lot of my clients. And where I am like, you need to push a bit harder now. Get that work done now, and then we can ease off later on.
Yeah.
So even if I've got people starting in a great position with high food and literally like 5 months out, I'm like, let's do the work now. And then we can pull back later on. And that experience is invaluable.
Yeah. I've been increasingly more aggressive as time's gone on. Because the more I realize that these guys have the same dreams as me sometimes. Yeah. And like what Cal says I would probably do, 99 times out of 100.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do, especially when it comes to being at a high level. And there are times where I'm like, well, we can use it in terms of anabolics. Like I ran this much, so I shouldn't put my client through that because that was quite a lot. But actually, you know what? I'm thinking these guys have the same goals. Like, okay, it doesn't necessarily work out the exact same because we're different sizes, different ages, and et cetera, et cetera. But I've started to become increasingly more aggressive. And guess what? People get lean.
Yeah.
And they get in condition.
And
so the people who go, why did you start cardio so early? Aren't you going to just eat into muscle? It's like, well, you're also going to be the same guy that says, how did you get so lean?
Exactly.
I saw a really, really interesting reel the other day, and it's something I've never ever thought of from that Eugene Ganbury method.
Yeah.
And he was speaking about not comp prep, but you can definitely apply it to that. And he was saying, instead of us going from high calorie to low calorie on this slope when you're in the fat loss phase, why don't we take loads out at the start, drop loads of fat quickly, because you've got a lot of fat, you've got a lot of energy in your body to use. Obviously it sucks a bit not being able to eat as much, or going from eating a lot to very little. And then actually, why don't we increase your food as we go on, because then the energy is coming from externally, not so much on your body. And I was like, that's really fucking interesting. That's very interesting take.
That's what Philip at Body Scan UK said. He said with his clients, because when you get your DEXA scan, you then interpret the results into their calculator, which is fantastic. And he said, well, instead of tapering down, if we'll figure out how much fat you want to lose, and we'll just go from maybe like 3,500 calories down to like 22. And he's found that, the first couple of weeks is hard, but you psychologically adapt
so quickly.
Whereas what I'm noticing with small drops is like they're continually, weekly having to get used to less and less food.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. But the reason why I asked you, because your clients are obviously specific to bodybuilding. I'm working with Gen Pops. That's why I'm a little bit tentative. But like I said this morning, I've got guys like the builders that are like, fucking turn up the heat, Tom. I'm ready to go. I'm winning this show. I'm like, God, jeez, all right, let's go then.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think for me, I sit there sometimes and I'm like, for those guys that are at the dog end of it, and I'm like wincing as I write it. I'm like, oh my God, am I really going to give him like 60 minutes of cardio? Like, what a ball ache, because I've been there. But sometimes it's like, it's necessary. And then when the calories get to like 1900, 1800, but then I just think, well, I've been there. I've been there at 90, let's say 100 kilos shredded to the, not to the general eye, and then I've gone on 1400 calories, and I'm like, well, you've done it. Like, what's you can't take that away from them. Like, they'll come to you if they're really struggling, and then that's where you troubleshoot, isn't it? But I think it just comes into when you are down that bottom end, body fat is low anyway, you're fatigued, and then you take all the food away. Then it's more about that fatigue management. But you don't want to be coming into a show tired, knackered. So actually, if you can reverse back up, and I take the same approach to holidays if I can, I push a bit earlier, because what I don't want is them to get to their holiday
the day before. We've
got them lean, but they're on 1,500 calories, and they want to go away, and they just want their beering at the airport. Like, cravings are through the roof, and the shackles are off, and they're going to come back like a water balloon. So actually, if you can feed them up into that show, which is actually their holiday, then great.
That's a really good way.
It's not always doable, and I definitely will like be a bit more lenient with that, because I'm like, no one's judging you on stage, so it's not as delicate, but it's definitely a good way to sort of help shape that psychology before someone goes away, I think. Because imagine they go away to all inclusive. Imagine me.
Show. It's mental resilience though. It's gained mental resilience, because I said on the other day, this time last year I was doing hour and a half on the Stairmaster on 1,400 calories.
No, mate, it was.
Do you remember? I mean, but we had Cal on. He said you had two options: go down the DMP route or go down the hardcore route. And I went, I'm fucking going down the hardcore route. That has now put me in a position now whereby this Ibiza cut's a doddle, mate.
Easy.
2,500 calories. I'm losing weight. I'm like, it's actually
unmerciful.
It's too easy.
And what does that come back to? It's because you've it's the knowledge, but like you've started in a better position, and you can, and also the stress is off.
No stress. And I'm noticing I've got a client, Tony's got a photo shoot in about 5-6 weeks time. Blessing me, stressing. You can actually see visually. Like when he grabs his stomach, I think that is all stress fluid. Like you've got to chill out, mate. But being in that position where like you've been 1,400, 1,500 calories, we have the knowledge to sit down on our chick and go, look, I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, that's true.
This isn't new to me. I know exactly the position you're in. I know how psychologically you're feeling. I know the hour you're looking at the clock waiting for the next meal. Trust me, and that helps massively. And Cal did it when obviously he got absolutely pilled for his show. So when he was saying, look, I know exactly what we're going through, it helped alleviates my stress. I go, look, Cal's been through it. It's only 4 more weeks to go, and then I'm away in my bay with you and eating food and stuff like that. So it's definitely an advantage being in that position.
I think one thing that I find a little bit harder with those lifestyle clients, so I wonder what you do and if you've got any strategies that you put in place, is when someone's got a fat loss diet or a fat loss goal, I tend to not put so many restrictions on it. Sometimes the competitions turn into a bit of a let's see how much weight we can lose and then rebound type of thing, especially with like a Gen Pop lifestyle client, right? Because they see this competition, right? Competition, I'll go in for this. This is their reason to get lean. Once that reason to get lean is taken away, sometimes it can go back. But what I find difficult is when you're managing like a lifestyle, maybe a long-term fat loss plan or something like that, is understanding that their lifestyle and they need to have a meal with their family, need to go out at the weekend. They've got kids that need to take out to whatever, McDonald's or wherever they go. I find it hard to find that line when actually you're not getting the results anymore, mate. So you have to do it, and it becomes very hard to like tighten that shackle on them for them to get the result that they want, but also find the balance of giving them enough life and like stuff to do outside of that. I wonder if you get how do you get around?
I go like 5-2 with a lot of them.
Oh, like 5 days on, 2 days off.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they are like Tom. I'm more than happy to take 200 calories off Monday to Friday, which saves 1,000 for the weekend.
Okay.
Average scale weight loss is coming off. They're out with their family. They're getting into shape. Like
Yeah, that's where my brain goes logically.
and then they actually turn it back on Sunday. And what we've done is rejig their training so that we're essentially taking a session from midweek, giving them an additional rest day during the week when food is low. Sunday they have a blinding session because they've fed, feeling full vascular pump, and then bang. So yeah, so it's not really 5-2. It's sort of like 5-1 or 6-1 almost. But yeah, it's same sort of thing with alcohol. Like I'm doing a YouTube video on alcohol and people wanting to go out. You know, you just take depending on what drink you're drinking, you just take a couple hundred calories off each day throughout the week, and on the Saturday you go out, you've banked enough calories to, you know, and then just try not to let it slide on Sunday. I think people can either go one or two ways.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the problem with alcohol, isn't it? It's like this baptism of fire. It's like your sleep's going to be crap. Your alcohol intake. Those two things together mean that the next day your choices are potentially a bit more skewed as to what you'd normally do. You have that bit lack of will, more so, or lack of willpower, more to be like, oh, shall I just order a pizza?
I'll get up. I'm straight in David Lloyd in the sauna. I'm sweating out the alcohol.
Yeah.
I'll go for a run, and I'm like opposite.
Yeah, that's a good way to attack it, isn't it? Because then straight away you're like, nope, you don't even give yourself a minute to even think, shall I just fuck around today and do nothing?
No.
It's good. Yeah, for sure. It's interesting topic. I was actually watching your video the other day, the sort of lifestyle-y one around that, and I thought there's so many topics around that can be broached. I even had one in my head earlier which is gone, but like
Do fire them over.
I will do when I think of them. But the alcohol thing is a key one. I get that question so much. I think you got it the other day actually. Someone messaged me like, this guy's asked the same question to 3 coaches.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like, can you still progress whilst drinking a couple of times a month? And I was like, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Like worst case scenario, let's say you go really bad, and that's 2 Saturdays you've really messed up, and then probably 2 Sundays. Like it's only 4 days out of 28. You do good for the other 24 days, and of course you're going to progress. But I think my answer was more along the lines of like, he said, can you progress well? And I was like, well, what does well mean to you?
Yeah.
You know, that's the important one to sort of.
It's the alcohol choices as well. Like even there's a couple of boys that are dieting for our beef that we're going to in 4 weeks, and the weight they lose from taking out the pints.
Really?
240 calories a pint. They're sinking 10 a weekend. 2,500.
Yeah,
They're going,
that's
where's all this
crazy.
weight coming from? I say, look, switch to vodka lime soda, double, you'll get smashed, and you know you can still have a good time or not. And they're like, oh my god, I'm drinking, losing weight, productive still. You know what I mean? I give them a few kind of hints and tips on the Saturday in terms of rehydration, electrolytes, vitamin B, you know, kind of being a surplus to vitamins. So when you go out and drink, you're not going into a deficit. You kind of just go from up here to down here. And they're like, oh my God, same as the whole like TMC cure, that sort of thing, which just like blows people's minds. But yeah, no, alcohol choice is the biggest one. Beers are deadly, man.
Yeah.
Shame, because I absolutely love a beer.
You do love a beer. We had a
love a
few
beer.
beers around Christmas time, didn't we? I like a Guinness.
I'm not a beer man.
Oh, I just love it, which is such a shame.
Cocktails, I love a cocktail.
Oh yeah,
so
I drink
Fruity
so
one.
quick though, they're just gone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, oh shit,
That's the beauty of
there's
it.
another one.
£12 a fucking cocktail.
Yeah, London, bro. I get smashed on them as well. I went to IV Asia and had a couple, and then went to the toilet and thought, oh shit. I was like, went back down. I was like,
I've not had that feeling in a while.
No, I bet.
It'll be a while as well.
Did you have FOMO on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
FOMO on Sunday.
Yeah, I was just seeing everyone out. I was like, I'd love to be feeling that good right there.
And then I found Louis was out as well, and I was like, oh,
I know. I was like, is that Lou? And then I was like, nah, that's too big, that geezer. And I was like, Lou, you know when you try and catch someone about and he turned around, and I thought, oh my God.
He's a monster, isn't he?
He's a freak.
He's a cuboid.
Yeah. He is. He sort of waddled over.
he does, mate. He's got a huge
His
adductors and quads and hams.
and glutes, mate. His whole fucking body is massive.
Yeah, I know. It's when I remember, obviously I spent quite a lot of time training with him, and I remember just him being on the line, leg curl, laying down, and I'm just thinking, there's just so much mass there, bro.
Yeah, no, it is. What's his plan then? Classic.
So I'm looking after his trainer now, which is quite exciting. So
amazing.
our last goal was to basically bring up his rear double, which was one of his weaker shots, and now he's sort of done that. Like it's now one of his stronger ones. So I've literally yesterday, while he was at yesterday, 2 days ago, he was at Printworks, I was amending his training, doing his second block, and then now the goal for whose goal isn't this, to bring up his arms?
Yeah.
So it's like 6 days a week. Arms.
Yours, it isn't your goal.
apart from mine, yeah.
This is Louis Blackmore, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Louis Blackmore. We spoke about him before.
Supplement needs athlete.
Yeah. So
Will you say that? Were you liable to say that?
yeah. So he's a supplement.
Insight supplements, sell it.
Insight supplements, Josh and Tom Funny.
But yeah, so now we've got to bring his arms up. So yeah, it's exciting. He is going to do classic. Yeah, that's his plan. The weight cap obviously is potentially something we need to worry
Hard
about.
for
Yeah, 'cause
him.
if he's
But
high-
What is it, 86 or something fucking crazy?
He's 110 now.
Sorry to say.
So he's got a lot to come off.
Oh.
But he is carrying a lot of body fat.
Yeah, he's
as
got a
we
lot of body.
always say, there's so much more to come off than you know.
Yeah.
And that's without water manipulation or shit like that. So I think it'll be all right. He's just about to go into a mini cut now and spend a bit of time taking a bit of that fat off. So
Nice.
then we'll maybe if he gets down to like 100, then maybe we can see how we're looking. But he looked fucking great last year, man. It's a shame he didn't
Yeah,
compete.
he did.
But I think he will compete next year, maybe in one of the early shows,
Yeah, nice.
which
Good,
is
good shout.
exciting.
And you've got the rest of the
Nice
summer,
physique.
I suppose.
Yeah, for sure.
Likes of Seshta's the boy. You answered quite a good question on the mini cut the other day. I think you replied, was it on a TikTok about the time length? Because someone said, no, that's not a mini cut. That's
Yeah.
some people prep at 6 weeks. And I thought, no.
Yeah,
They say
yeah.
that.
Who the hell?
Oh, it was on YouTube.
YouTube.
It was on YouTube, yeah. So I told someone, I said a mini cut was, I think it was 10 weeks. I think I'd spent 10 weeks mini cut, fat loss phase, whatever. And he was like, that's not a mini cut. Most competition preps are 12 weeks. I was like, not any competition preps I'm doing, son.
Yeah.
Not if you actually want to get lean for a show.
Yeah.
No chance. I've always said that though. I think mini cuts, again, it's that difficulty with how harsh can I actually go quite quickly. I've just put someone into one now, a guy called Dan, and he was on 3,900, and he's going away in August. The plan, that's like 3 months away. The plan is to sort of spend 6 to 8 weeks in it, and then obviously, like I said, sort of
Reverse back up.
feed back up again. And I sent him his macros over, and he went, "Oh shit!" I've taken I think I've dropped down right down to like 2-3 or something. So
Yeah.
like a big chunk
Yeah,
out
well.
straight away. Get the himbo in, get the cardio in straight away, and realistically, 8 weeks should be more than enough to get that done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I quite quickly got turned off from the idea of mini cuts because I'm like, how much can you really take off in 4 weeks? But again, I just don't know how
Yeah.
harsh I've been with him before.
Steve Hall's done some really good content at Revive
Yeah, he
Stronger
has.
on
Has
mini
he?
cuts.
But he
Really
also
good.
never gets fat enough. And Steve, we love you, but you never get big enough or fat enough to warrant one,
No.
Mm.
my boy.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's a couple of posts. It was like off season. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, he's still lean. I mean, maybe that's the idea of his off season, right?
True.
They push it to that boundary of maybe for him 16% body fat,
Yeah.
and then it comes back down to 10, and then
Yeah,
back
yeah.
up to 16, and then back down to 10. But every time it's a half pound up. It's a half pound up. And actually, for someone meticulous like that, it might well suit him.
Yeah, and he's on the money with his routine.
On the money.
Biblical, it's mad. I'm very invested in him. He's a fantastic athlete.
There's a conversation I've had to have just back to that point around sort of families and 5-2s and how people get around that. And I think I do have to have challenging conversations with clients sometimes when they kind of they're really good at trying to justify their actions.
Mhm.
And sometimes a coach is there literally to just hold your mirror up and just be like, listen to what you just said to yourself. Like,
Yep.
do you need to do that? There's been times when it's been like, oh, I was away this weekend, I'm not seeing my friends in 4 months, so I had to have some drinks. It's like, well, did you have to have 4 beers or could you just not have drank?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like, come on now, like have a think, like just look at yourself and say like, what do you want to do? Do you want to finish this, or do you want to push it on longer? Do you want to get optimal results, or at least as close to optimal as possible? Or, why does it mean that why do you have to attach a massive dinner plus a dessert plus a few drinks with seeing your family? It doesn't actually have to be that way.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Food, I mean, I'll be the first to admit I attach food to things, but like, not in prep. Like, I'm good. It's my birthday's going to be in the slap bang in the middle of this prep. That's not going to. It's going to be another day,
Mm.
and I'll go and see my family. I'll probably say, let's have a barbecue. Like
Yeah.
summer's great for that. Like
Yeah,
barbecues,
easy.
I can just eat like char grilled chicken and salad. Like, I'm
Lovely,
happy
man.
as Larry.
Lovely.
It's actually very good.
I remember seeing Ryan Terry's always out on prep, and probably on non-prep as well. But like out in his back garden, just barbecuing chicken. I just think that is great.
That's the life.
Yeah, that's kind of what the air fryer's done for me over the
Oh, I
last
need to
couple
get
of
an air
years.
fryer.
Good.
I'm gonna
I
get
need
that.
to get an
I got
air
the double
fryer.
doored one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that ninja one.
Right. Yeah.
You've
okay,
got
yeah.
your chips or your fries on one side. You've got and just every bit of meat just gets that little crisp around the
Oh,
outside.
so
And when you're hungry and you want texture,
What confuses me is the
crazy.
the timings and that though. Does it say on the thing?
you can set different times.
Right. Okay.
It's
I'm gonna
really
get
good.
one.
The one I got came with like this little booklet, but it's quite easy. Like the perfect potato recipe, in my opinion. I do the new potatoes, chop them into half, spray them with that olive oil stuff, bit of mint, bit of salt, bit of lemon squeezy, microwave them first, then put all that on, just shake them about a bit, and then put them in the air fryer. 10 minutes, they're perfect.
Wow.
They're banging, crispy on the outside,
it
fluffy
sounds
on
nice,
the
you know.
inside.
Little bit of mint on there, man.
That mint,
My
bang.
taste buds, you can tell I'm on prep.
I'm probably going to go home and have that later, actually. Chicken Tates. Yeah. Food swaps as well. That's a big one that people should be really aware of, I think, when trying to lose fat. This turned into a bit of a lifestyle fat loss episode, but I guess at the start of May, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, swapping
Summer's
things
coming
for
up.
potato and for rice. Pasta just got to go out the window because it's like just so heavy. Like you can't get a nice serving of pasta without like loads of carbs.
Egg pasta though. Have you tried the egg pasta?
Oh, is that
The
fresh
egg
stuff?
pasta?
Fresh tagliatelle,
My God.
tagliatelle,
I remember actually on last prep you two having that, and I remember
time.
I used to get so confused with it.
boatloads
I'm
of
looking at the dry weight, the cooked weight, and I'm thinking, what's going on
100,
Yeah. 150 grams. Your bowl is full,
massive.
and it's maybe 50 carbs.
Courgettes,
it?
tomato, onion. I mean, my spaghetti bolognese were massive.
here? Oh, really?
Yeah, they're big.
Insane, man.
Honestly.
Nice.
And that's what I said to my clients. I said, look, we have to then, you have to sub even 10 or 20 grams of pasta off and replace that with
Vegetable.
veg.
Courgettes
I
the
said,
goat, innit?
yeah, ridiculous.
You even risk those carbohydrates for the extra veg for the bottom.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes on prep, I would just completely take up my pasta and have a very veg-filled
so
spaghetti.
just chunky,
non-bolognese. Just
chunky veg spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for those.
Chunky veg bolognese. Yeah, that's it. I'd have that. And what's the other one as well? Chili.
Stir fries are
Chili.
really good.
Beef chili's like amazing.
I quite like pittas. I do like
Yeah, I
a,
like a good
throw a
pita.
load of shit in a pitta and then
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm big
Just
on
for
that
a
as well.
bit of taste of carb.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good.
'Cause
And
the,
I think-
the macros on those Nando's things aren't too bad if you get them in Tesco.
what?
you're
that?
probably-
Oh, the sauces?
The sauces.
No, they're really good. Any condiment, honestly, like if you're actually just using 20 or 30 grams of it, it's like 20 calories. And you sacrifice 20, 25 calories for flavour.
Easy
Yeah.
work.
Or like mustard or even like, I do a lot of like, like the Total Fire yogurt.
Yeah.
So I get the 0% one. I use 100 grams of it. That's 10 grams of protein. And I'll mix like tikka powder into it and make like a tikka paste.
Wow.
Or you can do tandoori paste, add a bit of
Nice,
lemon, salt,
yeah.
pepper, coat your chicken in it. You got 10 extra grams of whatever
Right.
and some salt.
That's what I do for the dessert though.
Big up Faye as well.
Yeah, if you
not
want to sponsor
Phage.
the podcast.
Faye, not Phage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sat here seething because I can't have it anymore because it's
Oh,
just
yeah, your
not good for my gut.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I used to-
shame.
Little sensitive Sally over there.
I know. I used to eat so much of that. It
It's
makes
so
me
good.
laugh now because I used
Like a
to.
whole tub.
I used to go John Lewis. Obviously, when I was like bulking, my afternoon snack would be a whole tub of it, 450 grams of. Well, it wasn't Faye actually. It was the skyr stuff.
Skyr?
It's
Right.
slightly higher in protein. I would just go in there, hammer some berries in there, honey, granola, and I'd sit there and eat the whole thing. And I'd sit there like, oh, a bit uncomfortable, like, oh god, and wonder what was. And I was so unaware that what was causing it was that. So obviously I don't eat anymore. But that's another one for anyone on a fat loss diet. If you can take it, please get that natural Greek yogurt in.
It's so good.
Oh my word, frozen berries, Greek yogurt.
That's
good
what I have
protein in
now.
Oh god,
The carrot cake creme.
I miss it so much. Honestly, I just actually bought some of that Alpro like soya yogurt for now.
Oh, yeah.
Macros aren't that great, but I just want to see if I can get it in for now because my macros are fine. It's quite carby and not that proteiny,
Yeah.
and a lot of it's got a bit of fat in, which obviously for us isn't great.
Where's,
But
your,
yeah.
where's your boys' cardio at the moment? Is it in already?
Yeah, 30 daily for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
30 daily as well.
30 minutes.
Mine that's for the last. Mine went up last week. 30 daily.
Are you in your routine now? Where you up, coffee, fasted?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
straight on the bike. And I bought a at-home treadmill as well. So I go straight off the bike onto check-ins onto the treadmill. So I can do a half an hour walk, get 3,500 steps and maybe a little bit more and get in 10 check-ins on my
Yeah,
phone.
it's amazing. It's really good. I think that's another point for anyone on fat loss. I think it's something we've spoken about before, but obviously there can be quite a lot of resistance to the work that you've got to do to take the fat off. And if you can take some of that resistance away, if your finances allow it, I mean,
Yeah.
a bike's not that much. What was your bike last year? 200 quid?
No,
Yeah.
95
Oh, there you
quid.
go. 90 quid for a spin bike. How
Yeah.
much is yours?
Yeah, 200 quid. But I mean, I'm going to have it for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the amount you're already paying.
I got the recumbent, and I think that was 400.
Yeah.
But I wanted to sit on my arse.
Facebook Marketplace, mate. My client
Yeah.
Craig's just got one as well on the bike. Simple, before work.
Yeah.
And I was looking at that PubMed study on those that were doing 10,000 steps, and those
Crazy difference, right?
mad, like mind blowing.
What's that? Go on.
Those that got up and boxed off, I think 4,000 or 5,000 with an elevated heart rate in the morning, as opposed to distribute the 10k over the steps within the day,
Yeah.
resulting in so much more fat loss,
Yeah.
like massively. Yeah. So that's why I say to my clients now, if we can get up and get expenditure done in the morning, a good chunk of expenditure, and they're happy to do that, fresh before work.
Yeah.
Primes your insulin, gives you a release endorphins, primes
Absolutely.
your digestion system. It's a really, really good thing.
As much as I don't particularly enjoy the cardio aspect of it, like it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
Like
It does. When
just
you're
getting
done.
up and the first thing you've done, like I get up, I go into my kitchen, I take what I need to take, and then I just make a very small. I've got that Azera powder, and just have one of them very small. Get on the bike, and I'm at 140 easy,
Yeah.
thanks to the clen and the coffee and the Yimbine. And then it's like that feeling when you're done is just great.
When it goes 29, 30 minutes.
Oh, it's just amazing. I even give it a little sprint at the end.
Yeah,
Come on.
I do the same. Yeah.
I can't get.
Give it-
That's what I have to do for
give it a bit
cardio
extra.
anyway. I can't do lists anymore. I can't do it without
Because
my
you have to
heart
push
rate,
it.
and I'm not touching none of the stuff, naughty stuff. I do your Himbine.
You're not using clen?
No.
Oh, I thought you would have used that. I would have done it if I
I
were
just, I'm like really like adamant. I do not want any assistance for this,
apart from your weekly injection.
apart from my weekly injection. Of test.
Have you got a plan to stop that? I keep asking you all the time.
Yeah,
Dying to know.
And I keep saying summer, end of
That's
summer.
Write that down.
Yeah, right in your notes, end of summer, just so I can kind of dedicate a good chunk of time off
Yeah, nice.
and start having kids later on this year.
Sperm bank. Fill up a few sperm banks.
Daddy's C-Class. Nice. Good.
I know.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, prep's on, mate. I'm excited.
Is this your last year?
This will be my last year that I know of.
It's already chinks in the armor.
Yeah, I know of.
The reason, as I said, as I've explained many times, definitely not next year. And then I'll just see where the wind takes me after that. Who knows how this year will go?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing I've got to be honest about. But yeah, I need to downsize a bit, getting some suits for next year for my weddings and that.
Do you think bodybuilding's dying?
No.
You don't think bodybuilding's dying?
Nah.
Mm.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Really?
I think that's because you like a little more removed.
Yeah,
I reckon.
And the response that I'm getting from a lot of people in the comment section on YouTube is, but I suppose that's slightly more biased to their view.
You've just changed your echo chamber. You've come
Yeah.
out of one,
Maybe.
entered another.
But then I just think,
That's great though for you.
Yeah,
and your
massively.
confidence going forward.
yeah, of course.
I think
And mine.
I think there's just a market, and actually Danny Bosworth, shout out Danny Bosworth, she's just started doing this, right? So she's coined this thing where she helps girls go from the competing world to just eating normally again, and she like fills that gap. And I think a lot of people after like seeing that, a lot of people seeing that, and then obviously we're seeing the deaths this year, we're seeing the reality of steroids, speed talk a lot more.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people being pushed that way, and there's not many people filling your role who's been on both sides of the coin.
Yeah, well,
So young
yeah,
as well.
but that's what I'm noticing, just because I'm getting a few DMs saying, mate, I've gone down the same route as you. I quit bodybuilding, quit again. I'm feel happier than ever. And the podcast I was on with Dr. Dean and the research that we're now seeing about this kind of effect of, I think I mentioned it before, whereby so many patients are now going into their GPs saying that I've got low test, and they run bloods and their test's fine. But psychologically, because they've been up here for so long and they're now down here, they're struggling massively.
Yeah.
And I think that my point was just because of the deaths. It was just like the response continuing on those comments is like, this is...
I think hopefully with that awareness, that will start to change. I've actually thought about this and sort of reflected on it a bit over the last few weeks, as we've seen, a few months, we've seen more people die. Obviously, rest in peace. Was it Sean Roden? He's gone.
God, many.
George Peterson, Cedric. And what I've kind of been, I kind of thought, isn't it weird that we've still got such a large number of those old school bodybuilders? And I just think, what are we doing differently? Like, when we're supposed to be getting better at this, not worse.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope now that light is getting shone on it, that it will improve. But the reason I don't think it's dying is because I just think it's a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
People come in and people come out, and I think that will
very
always
true.
happen. I think there will always be that side of things. And like I said, hopefully it just gets better. I think it's probably going through a bad spell.
Yeah.
Maybe more people getting turned off to it, but I mean,
I say that, but I've had more followers than ever.
so I mean, still get stupid questions about when should I jump on gear at 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
My interaction's better than ever. Everything else goes up.
I don't think it's dying, and I don't think it will ever die. There will always be bodybuilding, which is great, I think, for a lot of people. But yeah, I totally see that transition, and I'm more aware of it now as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was only asking it because also that kind of the incident about the V-bar as well. about how kind of people are now going into it and almost walking in through the door and just finding this fucking bitch fest of like, what should I and what shouldn't I be doing? Do you know what I mean? Because I can, you know, talking about the bloke that was, you know, joking around saying you should be doing this exercise. You look at the sort of the people that follow that and then think that what he said is gospel, and you think that just keeps knocking on to the point where you have got hundreds of sort of almost thousands of people that are doing it.
Yeah, I think I honestly found myself dumbfounded so often with that debate, and also with all the stuff I was getting on. Like TikTok was the worst, mate.
TikTok is
Every
savage.
single comment was just like, "Oh, Ronnie did it. What do you think Ronnie was thinking when he was doing it?" And I was like, "Have you got your own brain to think with, or do you just copy?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Monkey say, monkey do, whatever it is. Like monkey see, monkey do. I just thought you're just brainless. Like I've offered you all the reasons why as well, in like a nice digestible way, and still, I was getting, you know, when we get into that debate on Instagram, I wasn't providing opinion. I wasn't opinion, or at least I'd formed.
I
an
think
opinion.
provide context, because I don't know if everyone's seen it.
Okay, so I did a TikTok, my first one with Andy, that's now on 195,000 views, about why.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, the V-bar one?
Yeah, why putting a V-bar around a barbell
Must have
and T-bar rowing, or V-bar rowing if you want to call it that, is a really inefficient and ineffective movement. And obviously I pick my words carefully in order to trigger people.
Of course.
That doesn't mean it doesn't work. That doesn't mean it's useless. It doesn't mean it won't work the muscles. It does all those things.
I think it is useless.
It's it's not useless. It's just the most useless. Do you know what I mean? No movement is like ultimately. All those muscles are going to be working, and I never said they weren't. I just said they're going to be working very inefficiently and relatively ineffectively relative to the other options you've got available.
Yeah.
What I couldn't wrap my head around was people going, people almost accepting what I was saying, but being like, "Yeah, but I'm still going to do it."
Yeah.
I was like. So you hang on a minute. You have understood the facts that you know that biomechanically, physically, and just in terms of the physics, this is an inefficient and suboptimal movement. But you just rather choose it over one that is better. That's why I couldn't get my head around. That's where people are so married to a movement that it's like you're literally hindering. You're like, what are you here for? Are you here to improve your physique? Because I'm giving you a good option here. So that was what really blew my mind, and obviously, sort of blew up on Instagram. I got called an Instagram bodybuilder.
But then when he was openly saying, "I'm not going to listen to the science, I'm going to ignore the points," then you think, well, there's no point in me discussing this.
It's when they say I don't need science. Look at my back, and I'm like, all right, mate.
But I said that analogy is ridiculous. It's absolutely pointless.
The analogy you use is really good, actually.
Yeah.
Tell them the door one.
Yeah.
The door, the hinge, and the door.
My analogy. But what was that referencing? The actual.
That was me saying, here's a better way of doing things.
Yeah. So Joe very well described a better alternative to that particular movement, and yet he would still say no. And I said the analogy of that's like him pushing a door near the hinge, where we all know is very, very hard to push and open. And Joe stepping in saying, if we pull it from the door handle, the door opens far more easily. Him going, no.
It's worked for me before.
It's worked for me before.
Listen, the door opens.
Exactly. And like you said, there is probably going to be, it's probably more fucking bicep stimulus and glute hamstring isolation stimulus.
That's what I said.
If it was a glute hamstring isometric hold with bicep curl, probably better than
really great movement.
Fantastic movement for that. But in terms of the back, you can't win, can you?
And I know I watched that video back and I was looking at it to myself and I was thinking, what muscles am I working here? And I think when you've got loads of plates on it, firstly, it is straight up going to be glutes and erectors more than anything.
Absolutely.
And you've got to have a lot of skill to do that, by the way. Like I've never barbell bent over row. I don't disagree. Barbell bent over row is a decent movement, much more effective and efficient than that one. But you have to be so skilled to do that. I remember trying it in lockdown, even 100 kilos on the bar, to hold yourself in this hip hinge position at a relatively uncomfortable angle. Hold your glutes in, hold your back in and brace. And not only brace, but then breathe through that brace as well.
Yeah.
So you've got hold air in here to protect your spine, but also somehow give your body oxygen to keep doing this movement while your head's about to burst. And then you've got to think about your lats and your upper back. And I just thought this is such a, for 99% of people, it is a really bad movement and one that's going to ultimately cause more harm than good. Because I was looking at it and I was thinking, right, when I do this V-bar, I was looking at my elbow flexion. That was what's happening most.
Of course.
The biggest degree of flexion anything was getting was my elbow. So that's bicep. And they're trying to tell me it's an upper back movement. And well, it's not actually, because that's not the function of the upper back. The upper back wants to do that. If we want to be, if we want to do it effectively, it's going to be retracting the scapula. So it's not that. it's going to hit your lower back for sure if you want to stand for however long it takes you to fail with your or fail with your lats and hold this lower back isometric. Can you imagine if me and you were going on that 45-degree extension on a Tuesday and just holding a weight there? Yeah, your lower back's going to blow up.
Yeah, blow.
But you know, like Tom said, if you're trying to hit your biceps and your lower back
Crack
and
on.
movement, and
Fantastic
crack
movement.
on, son. Yeah,
It's mad you can't win.
no, which is frustrating. But some people did it. Some people did sort of take it on the chin.
Or just do it single arm. Just swap it. Just
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most
A lot
simple
of
thing.
Even then, but still
Yeah.
A lot of people
more
said that.
effective.
A lot of people said that actually. Well, not a lot, not enough, unfortunately. But a few people said Meadows row, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, good idea. Great upper back movement.
Much
Your
more
elbows,
fixed.
your elbows are coming out.
Yeah.
You can brace a lot easier because you sort of rest in one
You
side.
can direct your elbow a little bit more.
Yeah,
That's
and then
why I pendulum row. I love
Yeah.
pendulum rowing, man.
exactly.
What
You
a
can
move.
brace, you can reset. Your
Yeah,
lower back's not
that's-
in this horrible isometric. That's
Yeah.
probably gonna be a bit more like glute, but you can reset in each movement. Yeah. So I just think it is a movement whereby all the areas you're not trying to work are gonna, or not directly trying to work, because no one was commenting on that post saying, "You idiot, this is a lower back movement."
Yeah.
If they were, it'd been like, "Fair play, you
Yeah,
got me
exactly.
there."
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone was saying it's not lats, it's upper back, and I was like, "Well, it's still pretty inefficient, mate."
I know. I mean, even the terminology was fantastic about the short. No, I can't.
Oh,
It's not getting short, mate.
Yeah, you're not getting shot at all. You get into mid-range.
That
max.
was what killed me. in the
And now
last
you're
section.
resorting to slap. You threatened to slap Max gone, boss. No one's slapping Max.
No one could slap Max.
No one
He's
could
7
slap
foot
Max.
tall.
Exactly. He's
Is
an
he a big
animal.
boy, is he?
He's a big lad.
Huge,
yeah.
mate. You see him? Oh no, you won't. You're not here. Are you?
When's he down?
He comes down tonight, actually.
Is he?
Yeah, he's coming.
You
down
going Crayford?
We'll be Crayford. Muscleworks tomorrow. Crayford. Muscleworks Friday. Crayford Saturday morning potentially.
I'll make an appearance.
Got Paul on Saturday.
Let's all go down together.
You're welcome to join.
We should all
Yeah.
go over to the V-Bar row and start doing it. Start really fucking.
Oh, I nearly went in there the other day and like filmed myself doing it, and I was like, nah, just don't even stoop to it.
It's all of them like going sharing it. Going, yeah, that's so funny.
I know.
Yeah, sharing.
The amount of messages I got as well from
Yeah,
just got
that's when it
attacked.
gets annoying, when you get into these debates and then your followers are like continually sharing their stuff, and it's like, oh.
I had people trying to debate you in my DMs,
Really?
and I'm just like, brother, I'm not the one who said this.
Yeah,
And they're like, yeah, but you must agree with him because you're his friend. I'm like, I couldn't give a fuck if I agree with him or not. Like,
yeah.
I'm not talking to you about this.
Who was it that commented something really stupid? Oh no, it was that kind of secondary guy that came in who eventually did back down, but it was the one that he'd previously asked you for advice on his how to grow your back.
Yeah.
But yet was disagreeing with me, and I was like, bro, me and Josh have exactly the same training ideology. I can promise you, you wouldn't disagree with a word of what I was saying. So how'd you work that one out? So that was interesting. But credit to that guy. After the testosterone had died down a bit, he did listen to what I say. He asked me for my advice, and then he was like, okay, yeah, I actually understand what you're saying. Like, fair enough. I hope we can like laugh this off. And I was like, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
The Instagram bodybuilder got me.
Yeah, I know.
I thought top 10 New York Pro, IFBB versus Miami Pro. Geezer's running his mouth saying he's natty as well. Scroll down his profile. He's got his hands in the air. He's got UFO disc under his nipples, mate. You're trying to tell me he's natty? Like,
He might well be. He
Question.
might be one of them guys.
You can get it in adolescence, can't you? But
what, that bad?
don't know. AJ's got it. Isn't he?
Not like that. And I'll
Not-
happily sit here and call it out, mate. I tell him, go run a test now.
It's just a shame that he can't sit there and all he needs to do is look around the gym and think, I look better than 100% of the people in here. Okay, if I'm in there, maybe different. If Joe's in there, maybe different. I look better than 99.9% of the people in there. You know, I don't do anything different than these people really, but I look way better.
Yeah.
What's that correlate? Oh, it's
Yeah.
because I've got better genetics. I grow better. I recover better for whatever reason in your genetic makeup. You're not really doing much different than everyone else. You haven't got a secret.
No.
Because going to the gym is not a secret.
No, and it's certainly not fucking V-bar.
In-
I'll tell you that.
in-
Yeah, look around the gym and look at all the fucking equipment you got at Crayford. Jesus Christ. Look at all your back movements.
Someone made a good point for me actually.
God.
They said, if it was such a good movement, wouldn't there be a machine for it? And I was like, yeah.
Very,
point as
very
well.
good point.
And I sort of thought, kind of debunked
Maybe the
this.
cable row.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they do.
there's none that have a handle here, is there, fixed?
No.
There's one where you can put a shitty V-bar on.
Yeah.
Or maybe it starts there, but then it
Yeah,
Wired.
yeah, like
whatever
it-
that's called.
exactly. Moves with your plane that you want to move in, right? It's that thing. Do you know the ending phrase that I think everyone needs to remember is correlation, not causation.
Mm-hmm.
You can do V-bar rows, and you can have an amazing back, but please don't tell me that you have an amazing back because of the V-bar rows. Tom, is what Tom said. It's everything else that you do in the gym. It's all the more effective movements that you've been progressively overloading, the genetics that you've got, the time you spent doing it. So, these people commenting the Ronnie Coleman thing. I was just like, mate, Ronnie Coleman could have fucking
Done
Dumbo rode a
anything.
sofa
Anything.
and he would have looked the way he looked. He could have done. He probably did do some of the worst workouts, and
Work.
look at him now.
Paying
Unfortunately,
paying the price.
do you know
Unfortunately.
what I mean? So he's, yeah, it's just unfortunate. I think people don't have critical thinking. They're not able to sit there and, or maybe they do, but their ego clouds that judgment first, and they would rather get into an argument and with someone.
I really feel like it kind of escalated just because it kind of just the insinuation of what he was trying to say, and I ain't got no disrespect to him, to Joe, to anyone. I was just a bystander, but the insinuation for him to say that Joe was doing this for clicks
Oh, no.
wasn't even that,
was
though,
the thing.
was it?
Was the thing because it's like we've done this for I've been in this nearly a decade. Joe's been in this. We both all collectively been in this maybe 25 years. You know, like we built our entire career by being honest and being truthful and helping people. So at no point was that like even like a conversation that said, I'm going to do this entirely to get clicks. Like, no, because so many people actually do this exercise and they need to stop.
Yeah. Do you know what, actually, I tell you what, I didn't think that video was going to bang as much as it did. It almost shocked me how many people still do that movement. Even in muscle works, there's a bar there that you can put on it and align it up nicely. And like,
That's a little bit better.
I just thought, bloody hell, what's going on here?
I know. I did the same about dual ropes.
Mm.
It's like, I ain't got time for that. Or I'm thinking, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're just clipping two on instead of
know.
one.
Yeah, just buy
Well,
People
buy-
just
I said I said in the video, I said go to 1mr.shop and buy Josh's elongated rope.
yeah. People are so reluctant, aren't they, to change. I think that's what it is. They can't accept a challenge to their way of thinking,
No.
and that's a really closed box to be in. That is a
Very.
closed mindset, bro.
I've been there though. I've definitely been there. Like, and it took quite a few things to make me realise that I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. Like,
It must be the guy that obviously made it sort of all blow up. Just must have a lack of respect for me, not to want to listen to what I was saying, which is fine. Like, whatever, mate. I don't need your respect, to be honest. Whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. One of them things. It'll go on. I've got more videos.
yeah,
I'll keep recording.
It'll
More
be something
videos.
else next week.
Yeah.
And
I've tried to make a few more bands. They're not pop quite as much, but people do really seem attached to that V-bar. I did the V-bar pull down, and people didn't like that one either. Not quite as much as the V-bar row, but they didn't like that either.
and usually it's people who are like 17 and 18 there.
No, actually, most of
Oh.
the ones on TikTok are old people.
Oh really?
Really?
Older people, like the older generation. And it's
I
like,
guess that's a
John 71,
Yeah.
John 1971.
yeah.
I'm thinking.
It's definitely an old school movement.
Do you know what I'm
It's
thinking when he comments? I'm thinking, why are you on fucking TikTok?
Yeah.
And you got a family to go feed or
Why,
something.
with no TikToks either.
No profile.
Did you ever used to do the V-bar at any point? Either of you? I 100% used to use it all the time. I used to rack up as many templates on it as I could,
Do you know what? Actually, it's
and
funny.
then drop set all of them.
I remember. This is so funny. I remember this. I remember one time taking a tip off of you that you took off Flex Lewis, V-bar pull down. You said the V-bar pull down is really
Yeah.
good for your lower lats.
Yeah. Pulling it right past your belly button.
Leaning right back.
Yeah, leaning right back.
Lower lats. Yeah, all right. And I did it. I was like, yeah, it fucking is. You know, it's gonna work. This is.
Yeah, no, there are a few exercises that I've done.
But yeah, it's fascinating to see it blow up for sure. But yeah, I'll keep them coming. Try and think of as many as offensive ones as I can. I think you're right. That's the thing that sort of got to me the most. I just thought, what have I got out of misleading people? That was what misleading.
Yeah, misleading.
It actually tarnishes your
As if I'm taking you down the garden path to like, what, do you think I'm going to
Build a
get
better
any gain
back.
out of it? It's like, what? Yeah, what I'm trying to do is stop everyone doing V-bar rows so no one has a better back than me. And then in secret, I'm just fucking V-bar at home. I'm putting a V-bar around my sofa at home and I'm doing 100 reps every night. Come on, give me that upper back. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
That's funny.
It's all part of the fun and games. You can't please everyone.
No, you can't, unfortunately. And people aren't willing to learn that either.
No.
You know what I mean? But we can relate that back to the start of this podcast, whereby our stubbornness comes through about outsourcing to people like that. So we've all experienced
Ego, innit? At different levels.
ego. 100%.
Ego is the enemy. I need to read that book.
100%. Right, the builders just got back in.
Have they?
Oh, I can hear
Can you
it.
hear him scratching away?
Yeah, scratching away.
We hope you can't hear them.
Short introduction to episode 1, season 2.
Very good.
Welcome back.
Enjoyed that.
Welcome back. I'm away next year. I'm finding myself.
Next year.
Next year,
Did I say next year?
2023.
I'm still fucked from Sunday. Next week I'm away. So just be you two.
Maybe we'll run through a bit, some prep bits. We
Yeah,
might,
that's
that'd be
yeah.
quite. We can go through that maybe in depth, what it looks
Very
like.
good.
That'd be an interesting episode.
For sure.
Nice one, everyone.
It's good to see everybody.
Yeah,
Good to see everyone.
really good.
See you very soon. And
Peace out.
we'll be sure to get a couple of guests on this season as well,
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
following the steps of Cal.
Yeah, it's still our most viewed video.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well done, Cal.
Was a good video.
Cal's looking good at the moment, by the way, Cal.
Yeah.
I'm loving this new vibe. Whatever's going on,
swag,
it's
a
working.
little bit leaner.
Yeah, he looks good lean.
He's got that tash back.
Hannah's laughing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he grew the tash back.
She got a man back.
Mm. He's
Yeah.
looking good. He looks very cool, very swag. I like.
He did actually say to me the other day, I said, I spoke about him sort of downsizing. He's like, yeah, I'm going to maintain it. I think he said 250, 260 and just
Still mad, isn't it?
live better. Do you know what I mean?
Still mad. Old
Which I think so.
Still like 116, 18 kilos.
Oh,
I
fuck.
think it's a fantastic idea.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll try and maintain about
In fact,
220, I think.
what I was saying to Tom just before this was just like the clarity and the feeling of being so productive now when you lose a little bit of weight and you're sleeping better, you're not feeling as draggy, you can walk around, is like, oh shit, like I'm more productive, I'm making more money, I'm doing better. And
Yeah.
like, can I really like take a step back at this point in my career where everything's going so well? I'm like, oh shit, like
Do you know what I haven't heard one time today?
what's that?
You're fucking breathing.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Look, guys,
Yeah.
my sinuses are clear.
A whole season of no
A little squelch of
no
pig's
Josh.
gone.
Yeah.
Amazing.
A couple of my boys said, "Is his voice all right?"
Because it's like
Yeah, it's like
Innit?
drowning, my lot.
yeah, man, that's what it sounds like. That's how it
Jesus
feels.
Christ.
That's how it feels like I'm
Ting-
drowning.
But you said about the androgens in your throat, didn't you?
Yeah. So I always wondered, right, when I got lean, I think, okay, my face gets in, my jawline's in, and I always had like this little fucking thing
Pocket.
here, this little pocket under my chin.
Really?
Yeah, and like, you go like that, and I think I've still got this pocket here. And I found a video and I explained and it explains why. So you have a throat sac, and androgens
So what?
can
Androgen
like,
throat sac.
yeah, you have a throat sac and you basically hypertrophy your throat sac
It's not looking good, bro.
from talking. It's not looking good, bro. The sneaky one still.
Oh, that's
So
fucking-
I've got hypertrophy of the throat sac. Hey, you probably fucking got it as well.
I must have, yeah.
You just look at that throat sac when we get lean. Like, I can feel it now. It's fucking thick.
Really?
Yeah, man.
I haven't touched gear, have I? Barely.
That's so
Barely.
funny,
Not
mate.
enough, obviously.
That is
All
mad.
this throat talk, you sound like Johnny Depp. Have you been watching the trial?
Yeah, I've been obsessed with it.
Amber Turd's
I-
on today.
Yeah.
Is she?
I've
Oh,
been-
she gets in the hot seat.
6:30 p.m. UK time. Be there.
It's on TikTok all the time, isn't it?
Ooh,
Live on
mate,
TikTok.
I'm
all in there.
invested
I
in.
go down, I see Simple Simon, Amber Heard. Simple
they had a
Simon,
fight yet?
Amber Heard.
Nah.
Now, apparently, Ed's not been talking to him, so I don't know
Oh,
what's going
come
on.
on.
I genuinely reckon that Ed gets banged out.
Really?
He's so
Yeah,
funny.
he's a little
if he did.
gimp, mate. You know he can't fight for shit.
I would love
Neither of them can. Simon punches like that as if he's fucking in the rave.
it. Mm.
Jesus Christ, man. All right.
All right. See you
Catch you
later.
soon, guys. Bye.